What's up, guys? Today we're in Pasadena, California. I almost said Texas because I spent a lot of time down there. But we're in Pasadena, California today with a beautiful 2018 Nissan Titan XD Pro 4X. This has got 36,000 miles on it. We'll do a pan around, show you everything we're doing today, give you kind of a brief description. Be a good day for marketing on the AMSOIL products. So, I don't know if you noticed there before I flipped around, but I've got a long sleeve shirt on today because I'm starting to get a little crispy. So yeah, we got all set up here. I've got the pump draining down. We had about a half a tank of diesel fuel, so we're gonna get that drained down with our Fass stain that we used from Fass Fuel Systems. Got the black oak LED on there. Got some really cool hoses and stuff from Improved Racing. Yeah, so this is our little transfer tank. We transfer it down, get the factory tank emptied out, so we can then drop the tank empty. And then we'll be going back in with a big 55 gallon Titan tank today with a combination with the Fass system. So we really like this setup. This allows the Titan tank to be used to its maximum. The Titan tank on the factory OEM system can have issues going below quarter tank with fuel starvation because there's no baffles in the tank. But with the Fass system, the way it reroutes the return to the fuel bucket, we've proven. We got other videos up on the YouTube where we've shown where you can start that with as little as down in the red. Basically, we put like 2 or 3 gallons in it, drove around, it was still in the red. So the only hesitation there for you guys with the Titan tank is your DTE is going to be a little different, but the fuel gauge is still going to work the same. So just instead of being a quarter tank going down real fast, you're going to have twice as much fuel at a quarter tank. So yeah, I know a lot of guys will get a little hesitant about that, but no worries there. With the Fass, with it is safe to run it down till the light comes on. What else we got going on? So we're going to do the transmission service today using the AMSOIL ATF synthetic Signature Series ATF. We're going to use the Mopar filter today. This is it's pretty much identical to the Nissan. We did some measurements on it, and the depth into the pan is like 0.112 difference. That's less than 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, it's completely submerged. The valve body that this bolts onto is actually submerged in oil. So the filter, there's no concern there. And then we're also going to be doing the Improved Racing transmission thermostat with the spin-on filter. This is the same filter we use on the SRT 6.1, 6.4 engines. It happens to fit this ENV 171T1. It's going to be a 145-degree thermostat. We're going to put that up front in between the cooler and the transmission. And that's going to give this guy the ability to have a serviceable filter on his truck now. So there shouldn't ever be a need to change out this one. This was like a 100 micron filter, if I remember correctly. And then we got the 20 micron up here. So we're pushing through that filter there. We've got no issues with pressure drops in any way. There's some pretty sophisticated technology in this thermostat and the filter combination to make sure that it's getting sufficient volume with no pressure drops there. So no worries about starvation. Again, serviceable filter. We'll mount that up underneath near the oil filter so it's easy to service. And we're going to mount that using, we really like these riv nuts. We can get that mounted up so it's nice and solid. Also using the riv nuts today on our AMSOIL oil bypass system. What this does is this goes in line down here on the frame. We're going to mount it, and it's going to go in line between the oil filter, and it's going to have a fill return back to here. So it's going to get just about 10% of the fuel or the oil from the oil filter area, and it's going to come through a little small orifice. Again, no issues with pressure drop or starvation of the engine. It gives you nice clean oil all the way to the top of the engine at all times. This also allows, we've got guys going upwards of 50,000 miles using this combination with the AMSOIL Max Duty. This is available in the 1030, 540. We got it in the 5W30, 15W40. We got a bunch of it. We also got the heavy duty version. But for those 50,000 mile intervals, this and the oil bypass is what you're going to need. So you still use the factory full flow filter. Like I said, we're going to use a sandwich adapter in between it. That's that little dude there, and then we'll feed off to this oil filter housing. I'll post up some pictures later, or I got some write-ups on this on the website. They're at 1320synthetics.com. So you can jump on there. I've got some write-ups on this install and some other ones. Key things with the kit when you get it, make sure you don't lose track of your little diagram here to measure and mount your filter head. On this truck, we don't have a whole lot of room, so it gets mounted at a 90-degree angle. I think it's in the instructions there. I'm not going to look at it now. But it's completely safe to run this at a 90-degree. It's got a built-in bypass. You can see it there, that orange bypass down there. So it's got an anti-drain back valve. I'm sorry, not a bypass. Anti-drain back valve. Bypass is in the bottom. So it fills up and you can run that at a 90 degrees, no problem. This filter is good for 60,000 miles. Does it say it on there? Yeah, 60,000 miles, 600 hours, or 2 years. And again, this is available for, this specific kit fits the 5.9 and 6.7 and the 5-liter Cummins with this. On the 5.9 and 6.7, this is not required. You can actually pick up a oil feed from the turbo housing, or the top of the oil filter housing, I'm sorry. And then we got this nice machined piece that goes for the oil fill return. Everything's nice and properly sealed using Parker hoses and fittings, so there's no concern with leaks. Nothing more than so, this is going to be a more secure system and connections than a lot of the OEM stuff. Full flow filter, still the same as always on the 6.7, 5.9, and 5.0. It's our EAO 80. That's good for 25,000 miles or 1 year. These are all synthetic medias. If you guys want to see the insides of any of these, let me know. We got them cut open. I can send you some information. Also in the box, we'll try to fill this one out for the customer. But you return this and get a free oil analysis kit. That's about a $30 or $45 value retail, I think, $45. So yeah, fill that out, ship that in, get you free oil analysis. That's what we recommend with these kits. You don't want to just go willy-nilly running out to 50,000 miles without checking the oil. So we always like to get the oil analysis, do a couple of them, get the lab to help you out and get a baseline of your oil. Yeah, I think we're about empty there. So, yep, got the tank drain. We're going to drop that down. We're using our Pro Eagle jack. It's underneath there. We can't go nowhere without the Pro Eagle jack. That thing is an absolute monster. That's the Kratos. Let me go back here and look at it real quick. We got some room for content. Yeah. 3-ton Kratos off-road jack. Guys, if you ain't used one of these, you can actually jack the truck up and pull it around with that thing. So awesome jack. Real quick, what else? We got the transmission. We're going to fill up. So we use our motive power fill when we're doing the transmission services. We fill that up and then pump it back in through the dipstick hole. We like to measure what we drain, get as a baseline for filling it, so that way we're not playing the guessing game for a long time. We can get it real close to accurate before we start checking that. For proper procedure on checking the transmission fluid on these, again, you can check the website or hit me up. We'll send you some information about that. Without the oil bypass, our max duty from AMSOIL for the diesel engine, even with the emissions equipment intact, we've got guys running 20 to 25,000 miles with this oil. Again, do an oil sample about 10,000 miles. It'll come back and tell you to keep going and give you, the results you want to see there, so you can keep going. And then what else we got? We always like to do a little fuel additive with every Fass system install and Titan tank. Even though we're filtering it down several times, we want to, if any kind of debris gets up through the fuel and into the engine, we want to make sure we clean that out. And then we're going to do a brake fluid change today. We've been doing quite a few of those the last couple of days, and a power steering change. Those are just spill and fills on the power steering. And the brake, we use our motive power fill. We got a smaller little motive power fill. And then, also we're going to be doing a coolant flush. I know a lot of guys don't know we got this. This is it's probably one of the best coolants on the market, honestly. There's some debatability on the oils being comparable to Schaefer's Modal Redline, but when it comes to coolant, this is the bee's knees. This is compatible with just about everything from HOAT to OATs, your Nissan. It's compatible with just about everything. I would not mix it with Dexcool though. For those guys, I would drain and flush and get that Dexcool out. That stuff's garbage. But with everything else, this is mixable. Even the Nissan Blue, but we're going to do a drain and fill and then come back with a mixture of this and distilled water. This stuff's biodegradable. There's no cavitation problems. There's no SCAs required. It's already formulated right in there. So it's going to improve warm-up times. It's going to lower engine tips at operating temperature. So what that means is you're not going to see a lower temperature on the gauge, because that's going to be reading the temperature, but it's going to be able to expel more heat through the radiator with that technology they have in there. It's kind of one of a kind. Same with their coolant boost. If you don't have room for this, we do have a smaller product that you can add to your coolant. It's called coolant boost, Dominator coolant boost, and it'll do the exact same thing, but it's not required with this. You can use that by itself, and again, faster warm-ups in the wintertime, so you got heat quicker, and then in the summertime you've got reduced engine temps, so the metal parts of the engine are going to be a little bit cooler, somewhere around like 20 to 25 degrees cooler. The coolant's going to be hot, but the parts are going to be less hot. So that's the technology there, and we can forward all that information over if you want to see that as well. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know if I want to touch base on anything else. We've been getting a lot of questions lately about Stiction Eliminator. Guys, that stuff, I believe it's Hot Shots that makes the product. It's not required with AMSOIL. It's absolutely not necessary. It actually dilutes the AMSOIL base additives and additive package. Same with the Lucas oil stabilizer that guys use in their gasoline engines. None of that stuff is required with the AMSOIL. It will, in fact, weaken the oil, and you'll get less performance from the oil than if you just left it alone to run its interval. Again, so don't be adding anything to the oil of any kind. That's a big recommendation from AMSOIL. We've seen multiple tests. Again, we've got hundreds of oil analysis of guys running 50, 60,000 miles between oil changes. We've got guys running the 1030 and the 5W30 down in Louisiana, Texas, the hot parts of the country. They're towing heavy mileage, heavy trucks. The oil is fully capable of 50,000 miles with the proper filtration. If you guys got any questions about this, this is something you're interested in doing extended intervals, the oil is still good. Even if you don't want to use extended intervals, it's still going to provide a cleaner engine. We've took apart some diesel engines at like 100,000 miles that ran AMSOIL from the very first oil change, and they looked remarkably clean. Little to no evidence of wear. Don't be adding any additives to it, whether it's Hot Shots, Lucas, I don't know what other kind of gimmicks stuff's out there, but it's not necessary with AMSOIL. I don't know. It may help with generic oils, OEM oils. It may help with that. We don't like to play chemist with our engines. This ain't fifth grade. These trucks are expensive. Some of the trucks we work on, anywhere from $100,000 to $140,000. These guys put a massive amount of time, money, and investment in these trucks, and we trust the science, trust the professionals, trust what works. If you guys are new to any of this, you got any more questions, feel free to reach out to us. Information down at the bottom of our website page, how to contact us, or you just want a free quote on any of your AMSOIL products, feel free to reach out. Check out that AMSOIL website. Get these hats before they're gone. That's a two-tone AMSOIL hat. Until the next video, thanks for all the support. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere and everywhere. We're trying to get... Thanks.